We did it. We made it to the end of season 1, and a good 50 to 100 of you guys have been coming back for every single video. Thank you guys so much for being here. In the future, I'm gonna be leaning more into what's helping me ultimately get to my end goal, which is what I wanted to talk about today. Normally, I would try to create a really good hook to invite you guys to stay for the rest of the video. This video isn't gonna be optimized to do really well, and so we're just gonna hash it out. We're just gonna be raw, and I'm just gonna share with you guys some of the things that are on my mind. And the last thing that I wanna share with you guys that I think is the most crucial in helping you set yourself up for a life of fulfillment and success. So the theme of this video and the last thing that I wanted to invite you guys to do is to build something. Now, building something can be a really loose term. Building a business is something that I've wanted to do since I was really young, but I've never really known what that meant. And in a lot of ways, I still don't really know how to build something. But for 4 years now, I've been actively working every single day towards building something. So while I still have a really long way to go, building something and actively working towards that something has changed my life so much that that's the thing that I want to invite you guys to do. And I want to help you guys take some of the first steps. Something that I wish I would have done from the start is just starting with the end in mind. And believe me, if I knew 4 years ago what I wanted the end goal to look like, I probably would have been working towards that thing from the start. It's not that I wasn't mindful of those things, and I'm sure that it's not that you guys aren't mindful of beginning with the end in mind as well. But it's really tricky to start going after something when you don't even know what the end is going to look like, or when you don't know what you want it to look like. And for me, that's absolutely been one of the pain points in preventing me and slowing me down and getting towards where I want to be. But I will say, I can look back the last 4 years of my work and the last 4 years of what I've built, and I've had experiences and I've learned a lot in the process that I would never take back. So I will say that actively going towards something isn't going to be something you'll ever regret. And if there is anything at all that you would regret, it would probably be just not trying something in the first place. So for me, my personal end goal is have the ability to create anything. And when I say anything, I mean truly anything that I would be interested in being able to see come to fruition. I want to be able to have the ability to make that thing happen. So because I've been in photo and video for so long, that's obviously a medium that I'll be taking advantage of. Being able to learn how to create any video that I want to create and being able to portray the emotion that I want to portray, that's what I'm currently after right now. But in the grand scheme of my goals, I want to be able to truly create anything. And that means whether it's a feature film to a short film to an impactful short reel on Instagram, all the way to different businesses. I want to have the know-how to be able to start businesses from the ground up and be able to see them bloom into something beautiful. And this has taken months and months and months to develop this vision and to be able to get to the point of saying what I really want to get out of life is to be able to create anything. So just know that this isn't going to come quick, but it will come if you're actively thinking about the things that have made an impact on you and how you want to pay those things forward. So this is part of my thought process when I was getting stuck and I created this idea of I want to be able to create anything. And counting myself on what I think other people would ask me, this is the conversation that I had in my head, which ultimately led me to my why. My personal end goal is to have the ability to create anything. But what would I even do with that? What if I could create anything? If I had the knowledge and ability to create anything, I would use that gift to help people feel understood. Well, why would it even matter if people had a place where they felt understood? And I was trying to dig into this feeling. I was trying to figure out why it mattered so much to me that if I had this amazing ability that I could do truly anything with at that point, why would I choose to use that to just help people feel understood? And I dug really deep inside, and I was thinking about my past and myself and why I am doing what I'm doing now. I realized it was because for the first time in my life when I was 15 years old, I felt understood. And not just like understood, like somebody understands my situation, or I can feel that somebody empathizes with me. It was way deeper than that. It was like for the first time in my life, I felt understood not only by something, but I felt like I was starting to understand myself a little bit. And that instance and what came from that has completely changed my life. And then I started to ask myself, well, sure, it changed my life, but what makes me so sure that others feeling understood is going to change their lives too? And then I really started to think about it, and I felt like I couldn't find an answer to that. And I realized that what makes it so beautiful, what makes any pursuit so beautiful, and why people always look back on the building phase and the journey as the best part of their life is because this was the point where they didn't know anything. They didn't know if it was going to work. They didn't know if they were going to make money from it. They didn't know if anyone was going to listen to them or if it was going to make an impact. But people say that the journey is the best part because that's the part that you're doing everything from your heart. Because every day you wake up knowing that you're putting your time towards something that may not amount to anything, but you're doing it anyways, just at the chance that it might make an impact on somebody. I guess what I'm saying is for a lot of these people, even though they don't know any of the variables, they don't know what's gonna happen, they don't know if they're gonna be able to pay the bills, they don't know if anyone's gonna listen to them. I think for everyone who has that feeling, for everyone who goes after something like that, there is one thing that they do know. And it's that if what they're working on, if what they're putting all their energy and time into, if that works, then it will have been worth everything. No matter how long it took, no matter how much money it cost, no matter the sacrifices they had to make. If what they were going after, or if what you're going after works, it will be worth everything. If you're watching this and you feel like your heart resonates, and if you really feel like it would be worth everything, then why haven't you started already? I'm not saying that because I'm saying you should have started. What I'm saying is actually ask yourself, why haven't I started yet? If I really do feel this way, if this really does resonate with me, why have I not started? I was thinking about myself in this situation. I was thinking about other people that I've seen, looked up to, and ultimately, I think it comes down to you're just scared. I think the important part is figuring out why you're scared or what the bottleneck is so that you can overcome that thing and start going after that thing that you know is going to bring you an insane amount of fulfillment. Deep, deep, deep down, you know that it's not just a hobby. You know that it's not just a pastime. You know it's not just an interest. The truth is, it's probably because you know how powerful and impactful this thing could be if you did succeed at it. You're probably scared because you know that it's not just one of those things, but because you know that ever since it's changed you, that it's your responsibility to use that same thing to go change somebody else. You know you can't just hold that thing that changed your life inside and you want to share it with other people, but you don't know how. And you're afraid people won't get it, and you're afraid that people won't understand, so you just don't do it. I understand. It's not an easy thing to do. I think what it comes down to is looking at the circumstance and thinking about the two options that you have in front of you, both being hard decisions. One is the difficulty of actively working towards trying to change somebody's life the same way that you've been changed. Or two is waking up every day knowing that you're not doing the thing that's changed your life and that it could change somebody else's. Both of those things are really hard. And if you feel like you keep waking up or going to bed with that feeling that you could be changing somebody's life, I don't know what the right answer is for you. Only you can answer that for yourself. But once you've received that answer, if you feel like that feels right, just know that it's okay that you're scared, but that's your responsibility. There is a reason that you're feeling that way. And I promise that if you follow that feeling, you will live a life way more fulfilling than anything you could have ever asked for. And the reason that I'm even saying this and the reason that I'm so passionate about it is because that thing that changed my life when I was 15 years old was a 5-minute video from this guy named Sam Kolder. And watching this 5-minute video changed something in me. And I think it changed something in a lot of people. The whole creative industry is a completely different place because of what he's done. And not everyone is going to have the same impact or influence the creative industry or any industry as much as Sam Kolder has. But at the end of the day, that's not what it's about. You know that what it is about is just being able to change one person's life, because you know that if you were the only person that was impacted or changed by the thing that gave you that spark, then it would have been worth that person's entire career to be able to give you what you feel like is your true life that's actually worth living. So just know that if it's somebody in your family or somebody halfway across the world, if you're able to change somebody's life the same way that you've been changed, everything that you worked for would have been worth it. And that's why the last thing I wanted to leave you guys with in season 1 is a video that's specifically just about building something or just trying something or just following that feeling, because you never know what's going to come from that unless you try it. And again, you'll never regret trying, but you might regret not trying. So if you know that feeling that I'm talking about right now, dig into that, figure out exactly what that is, figure out how you can use that to have an impact. And that is your why. Hold on to that, and that will give you the motivation you need for a really long time. And keep reminding yourself of that thing. So my last invitation for you guys is to follow that feeling. I don't know whether or not I've had any type of impact on you from any of my previous videos or this video, but what I do know is that if I keep trying this and I keep trying to work towards having the ability to create anything and using that to help people feel understood, that at some point, somebody will be changed from it, and all of my efforts will have been worth it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for commenting and liking. And I know that my community and my audience is super tiny, but I see you guys popping up every week, supporting me every time, and looking forward to my next video. Again, my name is Hunter Gerlach. Thank you guys so much for being here. Subscribe for the next season, and I'll see you guys there.